So starting off on your back, use whatever props you need to get yourself nice and comfortable here. And let's take a moment to check in, noticing what's going on in your mind today. What have you brought with you to your mat? What thoughts? What emotions? What sensations do you feel in your body right now? Taking deep inhales in through your nose, into your diaphragm, and long, slow exhales out. As you exhale, letting go of the things that you don't need to think about right now in your practice. Trust that you can come back to them later. We're not pushing them away, we're just placing them to the side for now. Kind of like that story, just came to my mind. Can't remember exactly how it is. This is a story of a man who every day would come home from work and go over to a tree. Now, his job is really stressful. He'd come home from work, go over to the tree, and then go in his house. And it was like the stress was gone. And one day, a friend asked him what he does. Like he watched him go over to the tree and then walked into the house, and then everything was fine. Everything was just as if they didn't have a very difficult day. And the man said, when I go over to the tree, I place my worries in the tree and leave them there. So when I go in the house, I don't carry them in with me. You know, what's interesting is that the worries are still on the tree, maybe. Maybe they're gone by the time you go back to them later. So if you need to, you can always return to the worries if you need to think about them some more, deal with them, lean into them. Sometimes when we place them on the tree, they're just gone the next day. Placing whatever you need on that tree, whatever needs to be gone for this class. And then take a moment to connect to your heart. Maybe the chest area. And as you breathe in, imagine that you are sending energy to your heart space. And as you breathe out, allow that energy to flow back out. So as you bring this energy into your heart, what kind of energy does your heart need today? Energy doesn't have to isn't necessarily like excitement. The energy can be softness, kindness, compassion. As we go through our practice today, listen to your body. Only do what's comfortable for you. Come out of a pose if you need to. If I share something with you that doesn't resonate, feel free to allow my words to pass by and come back to sending energy to your heart. Making some small movements here in your fingers and toes. Perhaps those movements become bigger movements. And then whenever you're ready, rolling over to one side, whichever side is calling for you. And gently making your way up to seated. Kind of bring you a little closer to me. Don't need to be so far away. Okay. First pose, if you would like a little bit of a chest opener, finding the ramp. If not, just hang on and I'll let you know what we're going to do with the legs. So in our ramp, we are going to place, if you have blocks, then it's easy to use the blocks. You're going to place the block at the back so it's higher than the one at the front. All right. And then once you have that set up, and you can always change the height of the blocks as well. Once you have that set up, placing your other prop that you're using for your ramp over top of the blocks. All right, so we're going to come into a fallen tree. So you may need to find something else, either a pillow or a folded blanket or something that's going to go underneath one knee or thigh if you need it. So you're coming up nice and close to your ramp. And we're going to start with the right side. So whatever it is will be by your right side. So right nice and close to the ramp, or maybe you come lying on the earth, leaning back onto that ramp, palms face up towards the sky. All right, so then from here, stretching the left leg long, right foot comes to the earth with a bent knee. You're going to activate the right foot, so slightly curl back the toes. And then allow that right knee to drop over towards the side. Maybe this is where you place a prop underneath your knee, or maybe right where the hip and the thigh meet each other. And then soften the right foot. And take a few rounds of breath here. Deep inhales. Long, slow exhales. Notice what you feel going on in your chest and in your shoulders. You can always adjust where your arms are located on the earth. If you need to come out and find more props, feel free to do so. Maybe it's more pillows or blankets to bring the floor up closer to your arms. If it feels like your arms are too far away from the earth or it's too much of an opening here. Or you can always bring the hands to heart center, allowing them to rest on your chest. Or maybe one hand to your heart, one hand to your diaphragm, whatever feels good for you. Taking deep inhales in through your nose. And with every exhale, softening. Softening any tension that you feel around your eyes, in your jaw. Softening your shoulders and your hips. Maybe you lengthen your breath a little bit, taking fuller inhales and longer, slower exhales. I originally was going to do a very quiet class, but I know some people are feeling pretty tired today, so it won't be that quiet. All right. So I actually have some cards with me, and I'm just going to randomly draw some cards. And these are called surrender cards. I'll share them with you. If they resonate with you, wonderful. If not, just allow my words to pass by. Surrender to spirit. Once you've done everything you can to achieve a goal, turn the situation over to the divine. Let spirit work its magic for you. In a way, we can almost tie that back to the tree story. Turning a situation over, maybe placing it on that tree, and then see how it works itself out. If it's still there, do you still need to address it the next day, or is it gone? From here, taking 3 more rounds of breath, with the last exhale being the longest and slowest. And then once that's complete for you, making some small movements in your fingers and toes, and slowly bringing the right knee back to center. And then slowly extending the right leg long. So take your time. When you feel ready, you're going to make your way over to the other side. So feel free to stay up on the ramp. If you've had enough of the ramp, you can always roll off, move everything off of your mat and come down onto your back. Or maybe you stay on your ramp. So from here, right leg is long, bringing your prop over to the left side if you are using one. Drawing the left knee in, foot is to the earth. Activating the left foot and dropping the left knee over to the side. So our tree pose here on this side. Surrender to creativity. Let your imagination soar. Stay open to all creative ideas and how to pursue a dream or solve a problem. Surrender to creativity. So sometimes when it's quiet, our mind starts to wander. If it does, be kind and compassionate with yourself. Come back to your breath, or maybe that energy that you send to your heart. Can you soften your jaw? Imagine softening the inner and outer parts of your ears to soften the upper jaw as well. Where does it feel comfortable to place your tongue in your mouth? Where does it help to soften? Softening the jaw and the tongue. And so I'm going to share one more card while we're on the side. I am drawing them randomly, by the way. There's no rhyme or reason. Surrender obsessive thinking. If you're obsessing about a person or situation, turn the dilemma over to spirit. Doing so will help bring you clarity or even solve the problem. If this card does not resonate with you, perhaps considering how you would surrender obsessive thinking. How do you let it go? Sometimes it's just sitting with it, sitting with the feeling and breathing through it lovingly. Sometimes what we resist persists, right? So let's bring 3 more rounds of breath to this side, the last exhale being the longest and slowest. And then once that's complete for you, making small movements in your fingers and toes. Rolling around wrists and ankles. Drawing that left knee back up to center. And then extending the legs long. And just take a moment here to notice the sensations that you feel in your legs. And then if you are on a ramp, if it's comfortable for you, rolling over to one side. So one arm comes up by your ear and then slowly rolling yourself off of the ramp onto that side, onto your side. Some people feel more comfortable coming up to seated. All right. So we're actually going to leave the ramp where it is. If you don't have a ramp, you'll need one by the foot of your mat or wherever. Doesn't matter. There's no front or back in restorative, right? So our next pose is going to be legs up the bolster. So in our legs up the bolster, we're going to come up nice and close with the hips. Legs come up onto the bolster, and then you're going to just cross one ankle over the other. If you want to, if it feels good for you, perhaps you grab a pillow or a blanket and place it over top of the hips or maybe around the belly button or something, a little bit of weight here. So arms come wherever is comfortable for you. You can experiment if you want, maybe see how it feels if your arms come into cactus arms, or maybe the arms reach up and back behind you. Maybe they're by your sides. And as you breathe, can you breathe energy into your heart space? Our next card, surrender to joy. The key to positive change in your life is to let joy in and savor it. Indulge in random acts of smiling. During both the hard and easy times, keep surrendering to more joy. Noticing the rise and fall of your breath, especially if you have something on top of you, a little bit of weight. Sometimes this weight can feel comforting. Whenever you feel ready, you're going to change the cross of your legs. So changing whichever one is on top becomes the one that's on the bottom. And continue to breathe. Surrender to your full power. Your life is calling for you to step into your full power rather than playing it small. So maybe some of these cards resonate with you. Maybe it's just one. Maybe it's none of them at all. That's okay. Take what you need and leave the rest behind. Finding 3 more rounds of breath. The last exhale being the longest and slowest. And then whenever you're ready, making some small movements in the fingers and toes. You're now uncross your legs and bring the feet to the earth, knees are bent, maybe 1 foot on each side of your ramp. And then you decide which side to roll over to and make your way up to seated. Okay, so our last pose, options for how to come into this. We're gonna come into a twist. So if you want, you can come into a Santosha twist, which is keeping your ramp where it is. If you want, you could come into a twist on the earth. So I'll walk you through both. The Santosha twist will bring the right hip up against the bolster or your ramp, whatever props you're using. And then it's helpful to have a blanket between the knees and where the ankles are. Okay, so knees are going to be out to the side. We're going to bring the right hip up against the bolster. Hands come to the sides of your ramp. Inhale to lengthen your spine and exhale, turning your torso towards that ramp and then slowly walking the hands down. Head goes in any direction that's comfortable for you. And notice that left arm. If the left arm is feeling like it's not coming to the earth, maybe it's uncomfortable, feel free to grab another prop to place underneath the left arm to bring it up off the earth. If you're going without the ramp, we're going to be right on the floor. And you can bring blocks with you, pillows, whatever you feel you may need when you drop your knees over to one side. So you're on your back. We'll bring the props over to the right side. All right, feet are on the earth, knees are bent. Lift up and shift the hips over towards the left side and then placing them down to the earth. Knees drop over towards the right. Here you can always place something, a block or folded blanket between the knees if you want. Knees are coming to that prop on the earth beside you. Nice and gentle twist. You could always change out the props or go without one if it's comfortable for you. So we're gonna be here for a couple of minutes. So we want gentle here. If you need to restack your legs, restack the feet, feel free to do so. Palms face up towards the sky if you're on your back. Taking deep inhales and long, slow exhales. Notice where you're holding tension in your body. Does it feel like you're trying to hold yourself up somehow? Relaxing and softening your body. Softening in the shoulders, softening in the hips. Notice where you feel your breath in this pose. Depending on the variation that you have chosen, you might feel it in a different part of your body. Maybe you feel your breath more in your back body, or perhaps more in the front body. Soften and let go of tension. Let the earth receive your weight. These are quite the cards today. Surrender resentments. Holding on to resentments only poisons you. Try to forgive others for their shortcomings and keep moving forward toward positive situations in your life. Surrender resentments. Taking 3 more rounds of breath. The last exhale being the longest and slowest. Those of you in Santosha twist, I will lead you out first. In your Santosha twist, you're going to use your hands to help you slowly make your way up to seated. And then really easy here, we just turn the body so that the left hip is up against the side of your ramp. I don't want to turn my back to you. All right. And then hands are going to come to the sides of your ramp. You're going to inhale to lengthen your spine and turn towards the ramp, and exhale to fold, to come down, head in any direction. If you are in your lying twist, gently bringing the knees back to center, repositioning your back flat on the earth. However, it feels comfortable for you, moving your props over towards the left side. And this time, gently picking up the hips and placing them over towards the right side of the mat. Knees drop to the left. There we go. We're good. So remember, you're not stuck in any pose. You can come out if you need to. If you're in the Santosha twist and it doesn't feel good on the side, maybe you come onto the floor and find a twist on the floor instead. Again, does it feel like you're trying to hold yourself up somehow? Relaxing and softening. Let the earth receive you, hold you, and keep you safe. Taking deep inhales, inhaling that energy. If you need to, bring it to your heart. Exhaling, letting it flow back out through you. It's funny how I wanted to do more silent practice today. The next card is Surrender to Silence. In quiet meditation or contemplation, let go and enter the stillness within. Silence can heal and replenish you. Taking 3 more rounds of breath. Then slowly walking your hands back up. If you're in that Santosha twist, or gently bringing your knees back to center, repositioning your back flat on the earth. All right. So, time for Shavasana or any final resting pose that feels good for you in your body. Use as many props as you would like. You can, if you want to, instead of Shavasana, maybe find legs up the wall, legs up a chair, whatever it may be. I'm going to show you legs up the chair, just in case. I know some of you have chairs nearby. Let me grab my chair. So you're going to just come up nice and close to your chair. We're kind of cheating, not doing Shavasana this way, but it's up to you entirely what you feel like doing. So you're going to come up nice and close to your chair, seated to one side. Make sure there's nothing around you. And then you're going to swing. We can do it this way. Lie down onto your side. So you're coming into kind of like a fetal position, and then swing the legs up onto your chair. You have to adjust yourself a little bit here, adjust where you place your feet. Where does it feel comfortable for the backs of your legs? If you'd rather be in Shavasana, find that pose. Hey, maybe it's something totally different. What feels good for you? So many options. It's almost like I'm getting you to do your own class. Hmm. All right. Once you find your way into a comfortable position, honor your breath once again. Deep inhales and long, slow exhale. So I have a meditation for us. So we're not in complete silence today. It's a grounding meditation with the energies of nature. I invite you to picture yourself standing in a beautiful meadow filled with flowers. The sun is shining down on you, and you can feel its warmth on your face. You feel the contrast of the cool, moist earth below your bare feet where you are standing. As you look around, you see a forest across the meadow. You walk towards the forest and you can sense its energies. And with each step, you connect more deeply with the earth, the plants, the flowers, all that surrounds you, even with the air that you can breathe. You feel at one and in harmony with nature. As you reach the forest, you see a trail that leads deeper into the forest and you follow it. Even though the forest is shaded, you still feel warm, peaceful, and connected. Glancing along the trail, you see a large tree that seems to stand out from the others, and its energies are palpable. It seems to be calling you. Walk up to the tree and place your hand on its bark, and you feel an immediate sense of connection, like being home. You love this tree, and it loves you. You notice a doorway in the trunk of the tree, just big enough for you to open and step inside. As soon as you step into the tree, you begin to merge with it. You relax into it, knowing that you can return to your body at any time. Your arms lift up and reach into the branches of the tree, into each twig and leaf up above. Your body merges with the trunk, and you feel the sap and its life force energy running through the tree. Your legs and feet merge with the roots of the tree, and you feel how it is connected to and part of the earth. You sense the wisdom and beauty of the tree, the sense of belonging and of just being. Being an individual tree in the forest, but also part of the forest, the earth, the air, the animals, insects, and birds that live there. You feel the tree breathing, and as it breathes in through its every leaf, it then exhales air into the forest and beyond. You sense the pulse, the heartbeat of the forest, the air, the earth, and the energy from all the life forms within and all that is happening. The palpable energy of the earth and the sense of peace. When you are ready, you thank the tree for sharing this experience and for its love. You feel yourself returning to your body while almost remaining connected, also remaining connected to the tree, the earth, and the forest. As you step outside the tree, you once again place a hand on its bark and pause for a moment before you return to the meadow and the sunshine. You sit in the meadow, placing your hands lightly in your lap, and you begin to return to this present moment, noticing your breath, noticing your body. When you feel you are ready, there is no rush. When you feel you're ready to come out of this pose, if you are in legs on a chair or at the wall, drawing your knees in towards you and then rolling over to one side and stay there for a few rounds of breath. Maybe you need to scoot yourself back to lay down, but try not to get up just right away. And allow that blood flow to go back into the legs. And then whenever you feel ready Making your way up to seated, take your time. And once you get there, lowering or closing your eyes. Return to noticing your heart center. Maybe it's that area in your chest or your heart itself. What does your heart need? As you breathe in that energy, send it to your heart. And as you exhale, let the energy move through you. Let's do that a couple more times. Inhaling the energy to your heart. Exhale to keep the energy moving. Last time, inhale, fill your heart as much as you need. And exhale, release. The light in me sees and honors the light in each and every one of you. That light is a place of peace, love, kindness, and compassion. When you are in that place in you and I am in that place in me, there is no difference and no distance between us. Together, we are the same. We are one. Have a beautiful evening.